Hey, what
What
up?
up?
Want to tell them what time it is, what day it is?
So, thank you for being here. We are DV. Today is Friday. It is the 7th of February, 2025. And I'm happy to be here. So, yeah, man. Thank you for tuning in with us.
Today we are talking about coincidences versus fate. Do coincidences exist? Does fate exist? And how do they pertain to life, right? Is life just something that's preordained or something that's predetermined? Something that's already been decided for you? Whatever direction you go in, has it already been decided by something higher than you? Or do you believe that life is just a series of coincidences? Coincidences, for those that don't know what that is, coincidences meaning in this context, things that are seemingly either related or unrelated, and it just happened at the same time, right? Coincidence. So, what do you think? Do you think life is a coincidence or it's just fate? I'll start with a story on my part and tell you which way I think at the end of it. For me, so far, when I look back from all my early memories, how life started for me in Venice, California, right? How it started, how me and this guy was born at the California hospital here in Los Angeles. From being born there to being halfway growing up on the west side of Los Angeles, on the far west side, as far west as it gets, at least this country, as far as west as it gets, right? Being right 6 blocks down the street or less by the ocean, right? Being beach babies.
Yep.
And then going from that to being the specific place of where we were born at in Venice, where we were growing up at Oakwood, the history behind that, to who our older brother was, to who our parents were, how they ended up in Venice, coming from Kentucky, small town Kentucky, small town Illinois, to then where we ended up in small town Illinois, and the situation with our mother being sick, and basically, at that point being entering or leaving our lives, exiting our lives at that point, to our father being who he was and raising us as a single father, and all the little other places we bounced around in the middle of those years, to being right here, right now with you, back in LA, specifically in Long Beach, California, on the east side, right? All that, is that coincidence or is it fate?
Right. Very valid question.
Right?
Because they're all interrelated, So that's why that question is such a good question, because you can look at each situation and all similarities in each one. You know what I mean?
Right.
The timing is what makes it coincidental or fate, I guess, the timing of it all, but it's all similar situations. Even our parents meeting, and they both have, my dad had a brother named Jerry that passed young, and from what I understand, my mom had a sister named Jerry that passed young. So I don't know if my parents even know that, or I know they know it, but I don't know if they ever thought about it like that.
Right.
But is that coincidence or is it fate?
Right.
My mom being a Gemini, her zodiac sign was a Gemini, born from an identical twin mother.
Right.
Our grandmother's an identical twin.
Right. Water sign as well.
Scorpio. And then my mom has twins. More twins. Identical twins. We're Pisces. We are the symbol of a Pisces is one stream, one fish going upstream, one fish going downstream. It's like symbolic of who we are as identical twins.
Right.
Sometimes one's going upstream, one's going downstream. We're fighting against going against each other. And sometimes we're in the same flow.
Right.
Like what we're doing now. We're in the same flow right now.
Or I even think sometimes about our father. His name is John. My name is Jonathan. My dad's brother, only brother, was named Jerry. His name is Jared. Now, when we speak to our dad about that, he says it's coincidence. He did not think of that ahead of time. The similarities between that. He never thought about that. It just happened that way. So once again, this argument between fate and coincidence. Which one is it?
Yeah. My daughter being born a Gemini, and her due date was the same date as my mom's birthday.
Exactly.
May 26th. Oh no, the 25th, right? Yeah, 25th. And then my sister's birthday is the 21st, which is what the day my daughter was born on.
Was actually born on.
And she's a Gemini.
Right.
So it's
Twin.
Right. You know? So it's like, is that coincidence?
Or we can go on with this, right? This tattoo, right? 22. V. The letter V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. V is the first letter of our hometown, right? Also, 2, us being twins. You see what I'm saying? So you see the connections. But all that, is that fate or is it coincidence?
Yeah.
Right? Are these things connected just cause, by chance, or did something or someone ahead of time put this together?
What is coincidence? What is the definition of coincidence?
Exactly.
I'm not an etymology expert, but if I had to guess, it would basically mean two things coming together in a particular space and time. Coincidence.
By chance, though.
By chance.
Right.
And then you got fate. Now, what's the definition of fate?
From what I've seen, the basic definition of fate is something that's like I told you, predestined, predetermined ahead of time. Right?
So that poses the question that if it was determined ahead of time, I'm guessing for some sort of plan, some sort of reason, us being twins. What is that fate? What is the fate? If it is fate, what is the point of it?
Why?
If it was meant to happen, I guess the next question would be why?
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, we understand that it's supposed to happen. That my grandma was supposed to have grandsons that were identical twins and water signs a lot like herself, right? I guess that's destined, predestined. But what is the point in that? Just because? If the universe has a perfect design, if it's a perfect design, and there's a purpose and a reason and great timing for it all, what is the point of that? What's the point in us being born twins?
Right.
You know?
How is it beneficial? Or is it just cause? You know? Like sometimes it makes you wonder, does everything even have to have a reason?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there a point? Or is it just cause?
I mean, from what I understand, from what I've read and studied and heard, like the universe has a purpose for everything, like because energy isn't wasted. It doesn't believe in wasting energy. So anything that it puts out or creates, or any event or subject or anything like that, it's put to good use.
Right.
From my understanding, energy, like from I heard, the universe doesn't waste energy. It's the path of least resistance is how things happen. That's how things manifest. Path of least resistance. That's how the universe moves.
That's true.
It doesn't waste energy. It moves with purpose. And so do we. We're supposed to be. If we're made in the likeness of the universe, our creator.
Or, I'd like to pose another question. Although fate and coincidence seem like two different things, can they really just be the same thing?
They probably are.
Right?
Probably.
Maybe that's the whole reason.
Of the same thing.
Maybe that's the whole reason why these two things are always being compared to each other. You know, maybe that's why that question has forever been around. I know I'm not the only one who's asked this question. I know that question's been around forever.
Well, fate or coincidence?
Right.
Yeah.
And how it plays its part in our life.
Then it makes you wonder about all the other things that happen in your life. That, like for me, there's a lot of things in my life that's happened, good and bad, but just have no explanation.
Right.
It makes me go, well, I know there wasn't out of mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It happened for a reason. It makes you wonder, like, will I ever come across that reason? Will I ever understand that reason? I mean, not that it has that I have to know, but I'm curious. I just want to know, like, what was the purpose of that? If there's a purpose, then why did it happen? You know what I mean? Questions I always ask.
Right.
You know, even the good stuff, not just the bad, but the good stuff too. Because a lot of things that happen in my life, they happen in ways where it's just no explanation. I don't understand it. My whole life I've been like that. A lot of just random things have happened, and I just don't understand why. I can't help but wonder why.
Once again, though, were they really random?
Right, seemingly random.
Right. And also, how does it play a part? How does fate and coincidence play a part in our relationships? Let's talk about, when I talk about relationships, I'm talking about specifically right now, let's talk about romantic relationships. You know, people talk about what they call twin souls, right?
Twin flames.
The twin flames, or the love of my life, right? Are those people fate in your life? Were you meant to be with them at that time? Or was it just coincidence, right? Was it just coincidence? Like mine particular again. The girl I'm with right now is an identical twin, right? Or not identical twin, she's a twin, sorry, fraternal twin. I'm a twin. We met at my job, right? And first person I ever dealt with from my job. Anybody who knows me, I keep it real professional, real business. Like, I don't get involved personally at my job. I've been very just strictly just let's get to the money and get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I don't mix my personal stuff usually. But this time in life, I decided let's give it a try, right? Not knowing that I was gonna meet somebody who had a lot in common with me as far as being a twin. Who's also a Pisces as well, Leo, but also a Pisces. But we can go on about that. But my thing is that when it plays, how does that play in my relationship? Were we meant to be together at this time, which would mean fate, or was it just all coincidence by chance? And why did we meet? You know, why were we together? Why are we together at this time? You know, is there a time in space? Is there a time in the future that we won't be together, other than, of course, in death? But I mean, while we're living, will there be a place that we will not be together? Which would mean, did something already decide that we won't be? And at what time will that happen? Or will the other take place? Coincidence, right? These things that happen in our daily lives and in our situations and our circumstances, I'm still always wondering, pondering.
Do you guys ever do that? You guys ever ponder these things?
Right.
Like, the good and the bad things that happen in your life. You ever wonder, like, is there a reason for it, or did it just happen just because? Do you see the similarities in the things that happen?
Right.
In the coincidences? Do you see a connection between these events?
Right.
You know? Let us know. I want to know.
Yeah, make sure to leave your answers in the comments. I'm serious about this. As you're listening to this video, make sure to leave a comment in this video, because I really want to know, what do you think? What are you going through? Do you ponder these questions, or do you even care?
Yeah.
How does it matter? How does it play a part in your life? Leave a comment. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video as well.
Shout out to Little Dragon in their song Constant Surprises.
Constant Surprises.
It says, some may call it fate, but I like to call it coincidence. Or something like that.
Yeah.
I call it coincidence. Some may call it fate. I love that song, man. And you hear the song, she explains the situation that she came across.
Right. I'm in my way. Yeah.
When you're in that flow, when you're really in the zone and you're really like in tune with you, that's when things come to you like that. It come to you as seemingly as coincidences or synchronicity.
Right.
That's how they come to you. And the reason why, in my opinion, why they seem like coincidences and everything seems so similar to each other is because it's the same energy. Like attracts like. You're doing that because you're attracting these similar situations to you. It's just science, you know? You're putting out this type of energy, you're projecting this type of energy, and you're magnetizing the same similar energy to you. It's called synchronicity. That means they're in the same zone, they're in the same flow, they're in the same frequency. They work it's one and the same. That's why if I'm an artist and I'm a musician and I'm thinking about A type of relationship, say for example, that I want. You know, it's coincidence and synchronicity that I end up meeting a girl that's into the same type of music that I'm into, and may be from California like me, may even have the same similar, might have a birthday similar to mine, close to mine, and is into the same things I'm into. You know why? Because I'm putting out a certain energy, a certain frequency of thought. She may be into those same things. It may just happen that it may seem like it's coincidence that we meet at the same goddamn show that night. It's not coincidence though. Yes, it's synchronistic because it's the same energy that I'm putting out, I'm projecting, that I'm magnetizing, that she's doing the same thing. That's why they're similar, because it's the same frequency. That's all I'm saying. I almost fucked around, forgot what I was gonna say, but I stayed on point.
Or, so when you say all that, in the same way though, I look at that could also just been fate, because it's like you're already deciding from that point when you put that intention out, what you're doing, you're pretty much already deciding the outcome is gonna be this now. You know, if you put that thought out, or that vibration out, you're starting an intention, which is already saying I'm already telling you that, or putting it out there that the outcome is gonna be this now. So it comes off like, so I'm starting to really realize or think that maybe coincidence,
even we create our own fate,
and fate are really just the same thing.
Because when we think fate, at least I do, I used to think randomness.
Right.
But fate just means something.
Fate isn't random. Coincidence is what we're talking about when we talk about this random
I know, but what I'm saying is that fate to me seemed random.
By definition, it definitely isn't. You're saying it seems random.
No, my bad. No, fate seemed definite, like it was definitely gonna happen, but I didn't think of it in terms of us controlling it, though, is what I mean. That's what I mean to say. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have no control over fate. That's what I mean by random. Like, it's not something that we can control. Like, yeah, fate is definite and defined. That's the idea. But my understanding of it, my picture of it, when I thought about fate, I thought there was something that just we don't have no control over.
Right.
But it seems like now...
Well, yeah, I can see why you'd say that, because you're saying that it's, it's been predestined, right? But then it's like, by who?
Predestined by who, though,
right,
is the question. By you?
Right.
So it's not so random.
Right.
It's not so uncontrollable. You know, if we're putting out these thoughts and defining these things, these images, these concepts, these events that happen in our lives through our thoughts and feelings, then it's controlled by us.
Right. And I also think that although it may be fate, when I say fate, I'm talking about this story, this story that you've created, right? But I think whoever's writing the story can change it moment to moment. I think it still can be fate. But I think fate gets rewritten every single moment.
There you go. I think fate can.
Whether it's us or whoever it is doing it,
yeah,
I think it gets rewritten every single time.
I think so too.
Still can be fate.
Yeah.
Just because they said it's rewritten.
Because from what I understand, we've got multiple. This universe is full of possibilities.
Right.
It's all possible things.
Right.
It's not definite. It's possibilities. You know what I mean? That's what the probabilities. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen movies like? Have you ever seen Everywhere, Everything, All at Once?
Right.
Or have you seen movies like Butterfly Effect? You get the gist of, like, it's all probabilities. You know what I mean?
Doesn't have
to necessarily be that one. It could be a variation of that idea.
Or it can be all. Because they say it all exists at once. Right. But what I mean is, what is existing all at once? All these different variations of your life. Right.
These different probabilities. You know, it can go really bad, it can go really good for you. But these are all probabilities. Not one is defined until you define it. So you focus on it.
Or is it you defining it? That's still the question. Who's making these decisions?
Right. Well, in my opinion, I think it's us.
Right. Well, like I said, these are the questions that we pondered about life. Fate versus coincidence. Make sure to leave a comment. Let us know what you think about it.
Yeah.
How does it play a part in your life? Coincidence versus fate. Like this video. Please subscribe so we can stay connected to you. So we can continue these videos and we can continue these conversations and these connections.
For sure. Please.
I'd really love to hear your opinion and like to hear what's going on with you today, matter of fact.
Thank you once again for being here. Yeah, man. Choose your fate if you can. If you come to that conclusion that you're in control, you're in control, make a decision.
Right.
Make a decision. See what happens. What's the worst that can happen?
Right.
You don't manifest it? Okay. But above all, love yourself. I love you. I love you because I love me.
100%.
But you gotta love you for you. Love yourself for yourself.
Believe it.
I'll let you. DV.